In this video, I am going to discuss about Ohm's law and hopefully familiarize yourself with it. So, Ohm's law describes the relationship between voltage, current, and resistance. So, before I show you the formula, I just want to warn you that Ohm's law is about electricity and circuits. You don't need to know anything about circuits or electricity for this, but all you need to know is the units. The first unit is voltage, which is written in V. So let me do something first. I'm gonna write it down so you can copy it down. And yes, I also encourage you to copy it down. So voltage, you would write it as V. And current, you would write it as I. And resistance, you'd write it as R. You need to know these. And I am going to show you the formula for Ohm's law. So Ohm's law is V equals I R. Sorry, I just my mouse wasn't working that time. V equals I R. There you go, that's better. So V, like I said, is voltage. It's a way of symbolizing electricity. Sometimes you may see it as E equals IR. They're exactly the same. It's just that E, it's just electricity, which is exactly the same thing as V, which is voltage. So, to symbolize I, which is important, I, so in other words, not in other words, I'm gonna write it down. So if you're going to symbolize current, you would write this A. So for example, 30 amps. 30A. And for resistance, you would have this thing called ohms. So let me write ohms, which looks like this. It's kind of like pi, but it's not pi. So it's like this. So ohms. And V, voltage, is just V. So I'm going to start off with a circuit, so don't mind that. I'm going to start off with a circuit. So this is, we're going to find the V, the voltage. So if I have the V, which is the battery, that's the battery. And resistors usually look like this. Sometimes it can be in a light bulb or inside the object, but we're just going to use this as a resistor. So let's, we're going to find the V. So I'm going to write plus. Just give me a second. So this is the plus. This is the minus. And this is plus. When you are looking at the plus sign, that means the electricity or the voltage will go here. It will keep on circling until it goes here. If the battery was plus right here and minus right here, it would go this way around. But since the plus sign is right there, it's going up. Okay, let's say the resistor has 10 ohms. And the current, let's just say it has around 5 amps, 5A. We're gonna solve the V. What is the voltage? Well, we can use, we can use Ohm's law. V equals IR. You can use this formula, V use IR, to find the voltage. So finding V, so I would equal to, remember I is current, so it's this one. So 5 times the resistance, which is this, 10 ohms, times 10. And I'm pretty sure you know what is 5 times 10. 5 times 10 is 50, so you would write 50 volts. So right here as this is a 50 volt battery. Okay, now if I were to draw another circuit, I'm going to, just give me a second, I'm going to delete all of this and draw a new circuit. This time we're finding the current. So let's say we have a current of, and let me draw the circuit first, the resistor. We're gonna find the current, so we need to know what the current is. And let's just say it's still 10 ohms, but instead this one's about 20 volts, and this is the plus sign, and this is the minus. So again, the electricity will be going this way, and then looping around the circuit into here. Now I'm going to delete this, and we're going to find the resistance. So if you know basic algebra, you might know what to do. So I'm going to write the formula again. It's going to take some time. V equals IR, and we know what is V, so it's 20. So 20 equals I times 10, which is the resistance. And if you know what to do, since right here, oopsies, wrong one, right, it's a times, you're going to rearrange the formula, and it would turn into I equals 20 divided by 10. Or you can write it like this, I equals 20 divided by 10. Okay, so 20 divided by 10 is 2, so you would say it has 2 amps. The current is 2 amps. Pretty easy, right? So I'm going to do another question, another example. But this time we're finding the ohms, finding the resistance. So I'm going to move to a new place, about right here. I think that this place is good. Let me delete this. I'm gonna put the formula here if you need it. V equals IR. Okay, V equals IR. I'm gonna draw another circuit. Let's just say the voltage is around 20 volts. And we're gonna loop around here. It doesn't matter where the resistor is. It can be here, or here, or here, or here, anywhere. It doesn't really matter. So To do this question, you're gonna fill in all the things you know. So oh yeah, I forgot the current. Let's just say it's about 2 amps. Now, if you think all of this is too hard, or it's very hard to remember what to do and what kind of formula you need to use, we have something called Ohm's triangle. It's just a triangle. Let me draw a triangle. Actually, wait, let me reverse this. I'm going to ink the shape. So it looks nicer. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it's better just sticking with my own drawing. So let me draw a triangle. And then I'm gonna put, and then I'm gonna split it into this. Nope, that is wrong. I'm going to put a line right here, and then right here. Now, you might be wondering so actually, never mind, I'm gonna do it. So in the top, we're gonna have V, R's right here, I's right here, and R's right here. Now, you want to put in this middle a time sign, and then this side a divide sign. Also this one a divide sign. So this will help you a lot. For example, if you're finding the voltage, you can cover up the V because that's the voltage, and then at the bottom you would see I times R. So V equals I times R. But how about if you need to find the current, which is I? Well, you can just cover up I and look at V. So I equals V divided by R. It's very simple, right? Same goes to if you need to find the resistance. You cover up the R, so that's gone. You don't want to see it, and you can see that it's equal to V divided by I. So that's exactly what you're going to use. R equals V divided by I. So to find the resistance, it is R equals V divided by I. There we go, I don't need the line. Okay, and I somehow deleted this. Okay, so now that we know what to do, you can put in the numbers. So R, we're finding, so you don't need to put it out. I'm just gonna write R. V is 20, and you're gonna divide by 2. And then 20 divided by 2 is 10. So we have a current, a resistor of 10 ohms. Now, how about I give you a more trickier question. I am going to leave the triangle for reference and let it live, not die. So let's say if I flip to the page that I am going to show you, there are many types of circuits, and that circuit I showed you was is the one that we usually do. But there is a circuit that has conjunctions in a conjunction. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna I'm gonna draw a box where the voltage is. I'm going to draw a regular circuit with a resistor. Actually, I think I should put it at the side. I think that's better. But then I'm going to draw another one. And then another one. Now, we're going to try to find the current. So let's just say the voltage is 12 volts. I'm going to write the plus sign and the minus sign. It's 12 volts, and we need to find the current. Now, if you would, actually not if you would, the resistor, I'm just gonna pick any random number. This is going to be 3 ohms, and this one's going to be 4 ohms, and this one is going to be 6 ohms. We're going to find the current. What is A? So we can use this one again. V equals I R and rearrange it so that it equals I equals V divided by R. So if you go here, you're going to cover up I, that's current, because we're finding the current. So you would be left with, let me erase this out, V divided by R. So that's how you know, if you need any reference, that this statement is true. So actually, let me move a bit lower. So to find the current, we use this one. I equals VR. But instead, we have to change this formula into a different one. So we're going to write V1 equals, we're finding the current right here. Actually, no, we're finding the current right here. And right here, and right here. Okay? So to find them, you have to rewrite the formula into V1 equals I1, R1. The 1 just symbolizes that it's for this one. If it's number 2, it's for this one. If it's number 3, it's for this one. Then you erase this. Okay, so we're going to do this one right here. The 3 ohms. So V, and then you're going to rewrite this into here. So to find it, you're going to do I1 equals V1 R1. So we know that the V is 3 ohms right here. 3 ohms. So I'm going to fill it in. So we also know that the V is 12 volts. Resistance 3. So 12 times 3 is 48. But I do have something to actually, I don't think this way is good. I'll show you another way. Actually, forget about that. Let's just use algebra for this question. So we know that the voltage is, we're going to use this one. Forget everything I said. V equals IR. V1 equals I1 R1. V1 is 12, which would equal to I1 times R1, which is 3. I did make a mistake. Last time I multiplied instead of dividing, so you would reshape this into 12 divided by 3, or I equals V divided by R. So I was right, but I did the math wrong. So the I1 would equal to 4 amps. So if I go up here again, right here, the voltage going vroom 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 will go here, and that's 4 amps. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to draw going here. It's 4 amps. Now we're going to find the second one. You're going to do the same thing. Let me just scroll down. Move that actually. I'm going to delete this so I can save a space. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Instead, you're going to rewrite the formula into V2 equals I2 times R2. And reshape it again to I2 equals V2 R2. Now, if you don't know, when there is no sign right here, it means multiply. Just to let you know if you don't know. So, we know the voltage is still 12. So, I'm gonna write it into I2 equals 12 times, 12 divided by. Sorry, I did something wrong. I get confused sometimes, also. It is V2 divided by R2, by the way. Just did something wrong. So it's 12. Let me erase this. So I2 would equal to voltage is 12 divided by R, which is resistance, which is 4. And so the I would equal to 3 amps. And if I scroll up again, I'm going to write it here. It is going down 3 amps. Now for the final one, 6 amps. Not 6 amps. 6 ohms. Like I said, I also get confused. Okay, we're going to use the formula again. Instead, we're going to put 3 in here. V3 equals I3 R3. We can reshape it as I3 equals V3 divided by R3. This time I got it right. So we're using this formula. Now if I'm going to delete this, boop, 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 you're going to have to fill in everything except for the I, because you don't know. So V, once again, it's still 12. So I3 would equal to 12 divided by 6. And if you know the math, which I think you do, I would equal to 2 amps. So right here is going down 2 amps. And notice how the bigger the ohm, the bigger the resistance is, the less the amp is. So if you look at here, 6 amps, 6 ohms has the least amps because it's the biggest. And notice how 3 ohms has the largest amp because it's the smallest with 4 amps. So you can summarize that the bigger the ohms, the smaller the amps. So if the ohms are big, then the amps are small. For example, if I put 100 ohms, that would be like 0.000 something. It'd be very small. So I'm going to reverse everything. And I have one more kind of, let's just say, type of current. type of circuit. So there is one that has multiple. Okay, multiple. Oh wait, I wasn't finished. I also one more thing to confess. How do you find the total current that's coming out right here and there and here and there? Yeah. How do you find that? Because we only found the ones right here. To find it, you would let me go down. You would use this formula called IT, which is the total, would equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Now you don't sometimes you don't have like I1, I2, or I3. It can be smaller, like IT equals I1 plus I2, or it can be like plus I3 plus I4. It doesn't matter. You're just going to add all the amps up. So since we have 3 amps, 3 different kinds of amps, we're gonna have I1 plus I2 plus I3. So I1, if I go up here, is 3. I2 is 4. No, I keep on getting confused. Sorry. I1. That's the text. I1 is 4 amps. I2 is 3 amps, and I3 is 2 amps. So we can add them up. You would equal to 9 amps. So right here, you would have 9 amps coming out. Now, when the 9 amps travels here, 4 of the amps is going here. So there is this kind of rule that you need to know. Whatever comes in, whatever kind of amps comes in, has to add up. So these two have to add up to this amp. So for example, right here we have 9 amps. So since 9 amps is going this way and 4 amps is going this way, 5 amps should be going this way. Because if whatever comes in has to equal, these two have to equal to this one. So 4 plus 5 is 9. So now you know that right here, after right here, it's now 5 amps. Let me erase some stuff. Bye bye. And you bye bye. We don't need my I don't know what happened. It's okay. I'm gonna fix it. So when it passes right there at this point, it's now 5 amps. Now since you're gonna apply the same thing. Since here is going 3 amps down, right here is going 2 amps. And you're going to go down, blah 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 blah, to the resistors. Come back here. It's still 2 amps because it hasn't went into a new conjunction. So 2 amps still going this way now. And now since 3 amps is going here, they're going to combine into each other, and in resulting it's going to be 5 amps. And 5 amps, you're going to, with the 4 amps, you're going to add, they're going to combine into each other. Boom, you get 9 amps. And notice how whatever comes out also comes in. So that's another thing you want to be familiar with. Okay, let me I don't know if I should delete this. Yeah. Okay, I think that is going to end the explaining part, or the introduction part. And I am going to now give you some questions. So just give me a second. I don't where are my questions? Okay, now I found it. Yeah, found it. Okay, so I have 3 questions prepared for you. You can pause the video and try it yourself first. So I'm going to briefly scroll through here. The first one you can read by yourself. You can pause. Okay, the next one is right here. Next one right here. Okay, now I'm going to start with the first question. Hopefully you tried it yourself and are looking for the answers right now. So let me read the first question. If you plug a cable into an outlet in the UK, which by the way is 120 volts, and is attached to a light bulb with 20 ohms, with a 20 ohms resistor, what is the current? So in the UK, the amount of volts is 120 volts. So let me grab out my pencil. V equals IR. We use this formula. Now we're solving for I, so I would equal to R, and V divided by R. So let's plug in out everything. Do you get it? You plug in, no, okay. Okay, so I equals V, which is 120 in the UK, divided by a 20 ohms resistor. And you would get an answer of 6D. No, 6. Am I doing the math right? I think so. So, if I'm correct, I equals 6 ohms. Yes, 6. Not 6 ohms, 6 amps. So, just to show you, here's the thing. Actually, we're plugging into a cable. 120 volts. It's attached to a light bulb. My drawing is not the best. Let me make it more realistic. There we go. And it's it has a 20 ohms resistor. And the correct current is 6 amps. So this is what it will look like. Now, if you're too lazy, don't want to do the math and all, you can buy something to measure the amps. I forgot what's the name, but I'll post some Amazon stuff for the thing to measure the amps. If I can even find it though. Yeah, that would be a problem. Anyways, so the first answer, the current is 6 amps. Next question. Okay. Next question. If you have a light bulb with a 10 ohms resistor and have 40 amps, what is the voltage? Well, you don't need to do any reshaping. You're just gonna use V equals IR. So V equals I. You know the I is 40 amps. You're gonna times it by 10, which is the resistance, and you get 140. So the voltage is 1. Okay, so I do my math really bad, but it's supposed to be 400 volts. So the answer to it is 400 volts. Hopefully you got the answer. Why am I deleting? I should do this. Okay, next question. It's very simple. I'm pretty sure you know how to draw it, right? Number 3, you plug in a cable, and by the way, this is the last one, there's no more. You plug in a cable which now contains 100 volts. The total A is 20 amps. What is the resistance? So, to find it, you're going to rearrange this formula. V equals IR. Arrange it so R equals V divided by I. You can also use the Ohms triangle for reference. Cover R up, and now it's V divided by I, which is exactly the same as this one. Okay, so we know that V is 100 volts. So 100 divided by 20, which is 5. Okay, so that's gonna end it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, and that's all I gotta say. E B.